Most people think privacy and secrecy are the same thing. They're not, and confusing the two is why so many people either overshare everything or hide the wrong things. Privacy is healthy, secrecy is toxic, and knowing the difference will completely change how you handle relationships, boundaries, and your own mental peace. This is about understanding what you should protect and what you should share, and why getting this wrong destroys trust, creates paranoia, and makes you either too vulnerable or too isolated. Let me start with the simplest explanation. Privacy is withholding information that's yours to keep. Secrecy is hiding information that affects others. Privacy is saying, I don't need to share this because it's personal and doesn't impact you. Secrecy is saying, I can't share this because if you knew, you'd be hurt, angry, or make a different decision about me. Privacy protects you. Secrecy protects deception. Privacy is about boundaries. Secrecy is about control. And here's the key difference. Privacy doesn't create guilt. Secrecy does. When you're being private, you feel calm, justified, clear, because you know you're protecting something that's rightfully yours. When you're being secretive, you feel anxious, guilty, on edge, because you know you're hiding something that someone else has a right to know. That's how you tell the difference internally. Now let me give you examples so this becomes crystal clear. Privacy is not sharing your salary with coworkers, because your income is your business, and sharing it doesn't help anyone. It just creates comparison and resentment. Secrecy is hiding major debt from your partner, because that affects their financial future with you. They have a right to know. Privacy is not telling your parents every detail of your adult life, because you're independent, and they don't need to know everything you do. Secrecy is hiding a serious relationship from your parents because you know they'd disapprove, and you're avoiding the conflict. Privacy is not posting every personal moment on social media, because your life isn't content, and some things are just for you. Secrecy is deleting messages or hiding your phone because you're doing something you know you shouldn't be doing. See the pattern? Privacy protects your autonomy. Secrecy protects your lies. Privacy is something you'd defend if questioned. Secrecy is something you'd panic about if discovered. Here's why this matters more than people realize. When you confuse privacy with secrecy, you either become too open or too closed. Too open looks like this. You share everything, every thought, every feeling, every detail of your life. You think transparency equals honesty, but actually, you're just giving people ammunition. You're teaching them exactly where you're vulnerable. You're inviting judgment on things that are none of their business, and then you wonder why people use your honesty against you. Too closed looks like this. You share nothing. You keep everything hidden. You think protecting yourself means building walls around everything, but actually, you're creating suspicion. You're making people feel shut out. You're building relationships on distance instead of trust. And then you wonder why no one feels close to you. The goal isn't maximum transparency or maximum secrecy. It's strategic privacy with selective openness. Let me tell you how to decide what to keep private and what to share. Ask yourself, does this information affect the other person directly? If yes, share it. If no, it's your choice. Does hiding this serve my growth or avoid consequences? If it serves growth, it's privacy. If it avoids consequences, it's secrecy. Would I feel comfortable if this person found out anyway? If yes, you're being private. If no, you're being secretive. Does sharing this help the relationship or just make me feel better? Sometimes we overshare to relieve our own guilt or anxiety. That's not honesty. That's emotional dumping. If it helps the relationship, share it. If it just makes you feel better at their expense, keep it to yourself. Now let me show you what this looks like in practice. Privacy, not sharing your entire dating history with a new partner. They don't need to know everyone you've been with. That's your past. Secrecy, not mentioning you're still in contact with an ex who wants you back. That's information that affects their decision to be with you. Privacy, not telling your friends how much money you make. It's personal and doesn't change your friendship. Secrecy, not telling your business partner about a major financial mistake that could sink the company. That affects them directly. Privacy, not explaining why you need alone time. You're allowed to recharge without justifying it. Secrecy, not explaining where you were when you said you'd be somewhere else. That's lying by omission. Privacy, keeping your therapy sessions private. Your healing process is yours. Secrecy, keeping a diagnosis private from a partner you're building a future with. That affects their life too. The question is always, who does this information belong to? If it belongs to you alone, it's private. If it belongs to both of you, it needs to be shared. Look at how Koji handles this. He's extremely private. He doesn't share his thoughts, his past, his full capabilities. But is he secretive? Not in a toxic way. He keeps information private because it doesn't serve him to share it, not because he's deceiving people about things that affect them. He's not hiding debts. He's not lying about his intentions. He's not misleading people into relationships under false pretenses. He's just choosing not to reveal information that's his to keep. That's strategic privacy, not toxic secrecy. The difference is, he could share these things and be fine. He just chooses not to because it's smarter not to. Secrecy is when you can't share things because the truth would destroy the relationship. That's the key difference. Here's what you should actually keep private: your personal thoughts before they're fully formed. Not every passing thought needs to be shared. Your financial details unless they affect someone else directly. Money is personal. Your past relationships and mistakes unless they're relevant to current relationships. Your past is yours. Your need for alone time and personal space. You don't need to justify taking care of yourself. Your long-term plans until you're ready to execute them. Protect your goals from people who will doubt them. Your internal struggles unless you're asking for help. Not every battle needs an audience. These are things that belong to you. Protecting them is healthy, not toxic. And here's what you should never keep secret in close relationships: things that affect the other person's health, safety, or future. Major debts, serious health issues, legal problems, things that violate the agreed terms of your relationship. If you agreed to exclusivity and you're seeing someone else, that's not privacy, that's betrayal. Things that change the foundation of who you presented yourself to be. If you built trust on a lie, that's secrecy. Information the other person is actively asking about that they have a right to know. Refusing to answer direct questions about things that affect them is manipulation. If keeping something hidden requires lying, deleting evidence, or deceiving, it's not privacy, it's secrecy. So here's what you need to remember: privacy is your right. Secrecy is a warning sign. Privacy protects you. Secrecy protects lies. Privacy creates boundaries. Secrecy creates distance. Privacy you can defend. Secrecy you have to hide. If you're ever unsure which one you're doing, ask yourself, would I feel comfortable if this was discovered? Or would I feel exposed? If comfortable, it's privacy. If exposed, it's secrecy. And that difference matters, because one builds trust while the other destroys it. Protect your privacy, eliminate your secrecy, and you'll find that relationships become clearer, guilt disappears, and you can finally be both honest and protected at the same time. That's the balance, and once you find it, everything becomes easier.